Now for transcripts, you know that you are from Nigeria, and everything in Nigeria is like, even when you go there to school to collect your transcripts, these people will be expecting you to do the job for them. They will give you forms to go and print. They'll give you forms to go and photocopy. They'll be sending you on errands, whereas you're not supposed to do that. You just came there to collect your transcripts. And then after you've done the day's work with them, their own work, they'll tell you to come back next 2 months. So you have to start early. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Valeen Oseh again. If you're seeing me for the first time, please do not make this your last time here. So kindly subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so very much for your support so far. Guys, you are amazing. And we're about to hit 1K subscribers. I wouldn't achieve that without your support. So you guys keep doing what you're doing, and I cannot wait to share the good news with you when we hit 1K. Okay, so now I really want to focus on this set of people. If you're among this set of people, just know that you are special to me. We have a personal relationship. Now I'm talking about those people that watch my content and then they leave without subscribing. You are important to me because while I appreciate the fact that you watch my content, I would appreciate it even more if you can just subscribe after you watch the content. That way I'll know that I'm doing something good, and you will encourage me to even keep putting out content that you love. So please ensure that at the end of today's video, or midway, or even right now, you just subscribe by hitting the subscribe button down below. Now if you want to be a part of my community on Telegram, or even as a part of my mailing list, click the links in my description down below so that you can join a community of aspiring and current international students to receive information that I never share on YouTube. So guys, grab your copy now. Moving on, my name is valeenovarah. I am a cybersecurity graduate from the University of Alabama, Birmingham, UAB. I graduated in December 2020, and I share my experiences here as an international student in the United States. So if you're interested in anything, study abroad, life of an international student, then this channel is definitely for you. On a daily basis, guys, I receive chats, messages, calls, and even emails from family and friends and random people as well, asking me how they can achieve their study abroad journey. And one thing that I have discovered over time is that they are all confused. The only thing that they are sure of, the only thing that they know is that they want to study abroad. But everything else, they have no clue, they have no knowledge, they don't even know where to begin. And if you ask them, what next? They don't have the answer to that question. And so I decided that I should make a series that would help this set of people to achieve their study abroad dreams. Mind you, we are in a phase that is very critical. We have 2 seasons that are upon us right now. We have the admission season that is upon us, and we also have the season of people, traveling down to the United States to start their study abroad journey. Those people that have been granted admission, approved, their visa has been approved, they'll be coming this August to start their master's program or even their bachelor's degree, or if some of them even their PhD program, while admissions and applications open in August. So you guys should ensure that you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out any information or any content that I'll be dishing out very soon. Now in today's video, I'm going to be focusing on the phase of the things you have to do before you begin your application process. I've broken these things that you have to do into 3 phases. The first phase is the pre-application phase. What are the things you need to do before you even start applying? The second phase is the application phase. What are the things you have to do to even apply? And then the third phase is going to be your post-application phase. Everything you have to do once you have gotten an admission, once you have landed in the United States and you've begun your study abroad journey. So these are the phases that we'll be discussing in this video and subsequent video. But in today's video, we're going to be focusing on the things that you have to do before you begin, which is your pre-admission or pre-application phase. So let's discuss what are the things that you'll be learning from this video. You'll be learning the duration it takes. You're also going to be learning the deadlines for your application so that you are well informed, so you don't start late and then end up not achieving your study abroad dreams. You also learn the documents that you need before you begin that process. Most times people start, they don't even know what they need, or they start midway and discover that there's something that they need and they should have gotten it early enough, but because they didn't, they will not have to start all over again. So we don't want you to be wasting time unnecessarily. All right, so I'm going to be simplifying everything, so you can always refer to this video or subsequent videos to guide you in your study abroad journey, and you also learn what next after this video. So let's just start, because I cannot wait to begin. So before we get into the documents you need and everything in between, let's talk about the duration. How long does it take for somebody to even start, applications and then get your admission and find your way to the United States of America? I advise my clients and I advise those that I mentor to begin 1 year before. Now, if you're coming to the US in the fall of 2022, you should start your application process in the fall of 2021. Let me explain. So if you're coming, let's say if you were trying to come here this fall, which is August 2021, you cannot even make it because the deadlines are over, application is done, everything is closed already right now. You're just going to put yourself under unnecessary pressure. So if your dream is to start your journey, your master's or your bachelor's or even your PhD in August 2022, this is the right time for you to start, because come August, applications will be open from various universities and you can then begin your application process. But again, the key thing about this video is that there are things you have to do before you even begin your application process. So you need to even ensure that you have started achieving those things, getting those documents down before the application opens, and then you can even start applying. That is why this video is very essential, so that you know those documents and then you can begin and be on time, apply early, and get all the necessary benefits that comes to students who applied early. So now that we know the duration and everything, when to start, we already know the deadline as to when to apply and when not to apply, we're going to move further into discussing or talking about these documents that you need. What are documents you need? Now, if I was going to have like a list right here that I was going to be referring to, but I also have this, my international passport, just staring at me like, you have to talk about me first. On my list, it wasn't the first thing on there, but guys, you need an international passport. I think I made a video where I talked about the things you have to do before you start even looking for scholarships here and there. I'm going to link that video on here, so ensure that you watch that video and just familiarize yourself with certain things that you have to do before you get here. Now, you need an international passport. We're also going to be talking about the cost for every document that I'm going to be mentioning in this video. So it's important that you watch the video to the very end, because I have done the research for you, and based on personal experience, I also know what is involved. So you are covered, you're good. Thank me in the comment section, okay? So now you need an international passport. An international passport is very easy to get. From what I've heard so far, you can even apply for your international passport online. When I did mine, it wasn't like that. I had to go to Asaba, it was just a whole different thing. Even though I got it early enough, but it was more stressful during my time. But I think they've made everything a lot easier for people. So you need an international passport, because you cannot even get on board. No school will even give you an admission without any identification from, I'm not talking about an affidavit. Without your international passport, just know that you cannot achieve your study abroad dream. It cannot even begin, not to talk of you achieving it. So the second thing that you need are standardized tests. So what do I mean by standardized tests? Standardized tests are tests like TOEFL, your GRE, your GMAT, your SAT, those kinds of tests. So if you're somebody that is coming for let's say you're going for your master's MBA, you're going to need to write a GMAT. So you need to have to get that exam done, register, study for it, and have that exam done. If you're coming for, let's say, cyber security, masters in cyber security, you need to have written your TOEFL, you need to have written your GRE, because it's very important. Now, with the pandemic, some universities started waiving GRE and even TOEFL for international students, because they were trying to sort of protect people from getting this virus. Remember when it started, everybody was scared. What's going to happen? How do I even register for these exams? And because it was a necessity then. So you can also search for schools that are waiving these tests and apply to those schools if you know that you are not in the space where you can actually study for such exams. But I advise people to always, even if a school is waiving it, just write it, because you never can tell. All right, so the next thing that you need are recommendation letters. Now, letters or recommendations can be from academic or non-academic letters of recommendation. Now, you need to have at least 3 academic letters of recommendation. I take that back. You need to have at least 2 letters of recommendation that are academic and 1 letter of recommendation that is from just maybe your company. If you're somebody that's working in an organization, that company can give you a letter of recommendation, or even your community can give you a letter of recommendation, or even somebody that knows you very well who can guarantee or attest to your character or who you are as a person. That person can also give you a letter of recommendation. So the third document that you need is your certificate evaluation. Guys, you need to have your certificates evaluated by WES and I think by ECE. So these organizations, they are like foreign language organizations that just evaluates your certificate so that it will be it will be more like the standard of the country that you're applying to. So if you're going to Canada, they have a grading system, but it's totally different from the Nigerian grading system. So what that organization does is that they evaluate your certificate and can then say that this person actually did this course, and they can be able to be admitted and even do the same kind of studies in your country. So you need to have that certificate evaluated. But one thing again is, during my time I didn't even have my certificate evaluated. So there are schools that do not require you to have your certificate evaluated. So you need to find out those schools and apply to them, and we're going to be talking about those schools in the next video that I'm going to be making, how to find schools in the US or any country that you are interested in. So ensure that you subscribe to my channel. The next thing that you need is your transcript. Now these transcripts could be your high school transcript or your university transcript or even your diploma transcript. For me, I'll tell you that I got my transcript for my diploma program because I did a diploma earlier, and I also got a transcript for my university because I also did like a direct entry. After I finished my diploma, I went in for my direct entry, so I also got that transcript. So I had 2 transcripts. Because I'm not going for like an undergraduate program, I didn't need to have like my WAEC evaluated or anything. But if you're an undergraduate student, then you need to have those documents as well. And I think they might require you to write an SAT. Just figure out what the schools are looking for, and in my next video I'll teach you how to find those schools that you are looking for, that is targeted to your needs and targeted to what you're trying to achieve at the end of the day. So the next document that you need is your personal essay. Now this is what we call statement of purpose. Some universities can call them your personal objectives, so it depends on the school, but everybody just refer to them as statement of purpose, which is your SOP. What is an SOP? An SOP is pretty much an essay about yourself, who you are, why you're going for the master's program or the undergraduate program, what that program would do for you as an individual, is it in line with your future goal, and how would that program help you achieve your future dream or your future goal, and what is your career prospects or career dream, how can this program also help you achieve that career goal as well. So pretty much you talking about yourself, anything that can set you apart. This is the time where you have to put them in that personal statement, because it's very important that you sell yourself, and you are the only person that can sell yourself for you. Nobody can actually write like a 100% statement of purpose for you without any contribution for you. That would be an error. So if you are consulting me to write a statement of purpose for you, I'm also going to have you tell me certain things, because I know that these things would definitely help me do my job better, and I want to make something that is original and unique and something that they've never read before. You just want to set yourself apart. So it's important that you have a statement of purpose that would market you to the admission team the best way possible, so that you can even get a scholarship. You never know. So the next thing that you need is your resume. Now, Your resume is something that most people commonize. They don't even know that it's a requirement, but when you're applying to schools in the US and other countries, you need to submit your resume. They want to know what you've done so far. Whether you don't have a professional experience, it doesn't matter, but you need to have a resume that just says certain things about yourself, your educational background, where you're from, what you've done, if you have, work experience, and just, they want to see if you are even in line with the degree or the major that you've applied for, and how, can they tell? How can everything is just important? There's nothing that they'll be saying, okay, your SOP is 50%. No, everything is as important as even yourself, even the SOP or even the transcript. Every one of them is very important. So your resume, I'd advise you that you just find out the template for the country that you're applying to. So if you're applying to the US, there's a different way entirely that they do their resume. Their resumes are like totally different from the Nigerian resume, where you have like 10 pages and you have not even finished high school. How can you have 10 pages of resume when you have not even worked for up to 2 years? So their resume is pretty much simple, straightforward. If you also need assistance with that, you can click the link in my description down below, because I also offer resume services as well. Or you can also just Google and find out yourself and have your resume or your CV ready. So the next thing that you need, I already talked about the valid international passport, because it was just there telling you valid. You have to say this first. Some schools would require you to, remember when I talked about standardized tests, that you have to write TOEFL. Now, because you are from Nigeria, you don't really have to write TOEFL, because, we speak English. It's our native language, so we speak English. Because we speak English, there's no need for you to write the TOEFL exam, but I still advise my clients and even people that I mentor that they should go ahead and write it anyway. But you can get an English language waiver from your school. So this is a document that your school will give to you, stating that you were taught in English throughout your master's, your bachelor's degree program, or your high school or anything, and that all assignments were in English, were done in English. English is our first language, and so you don't have to take the test. So the school will just give you that that, I think it's the registrar's office that will give you that document, and even your department as well can also give you a letter. So you need that is a document that you need to have as well. Now, don't worry, I'll be talking about the duration, when you should target or set as a deadline to get these things done. So we'll be talking about that once I'm done with everything. So the next thing that you need, this is the ninth thing, is your application fee. There's no way you can study in the United States or most countries, as it were, without an application fee. Now, there are schools that offer application fee waiver. There are ways that you can go about having to not pay that application fee. But again, it is something that is needed. It's not a document, it is money. But I just feel like I should let you know, so that when you begin, you don't just start from a place of everything will be given to you for free. Of course, you are going to be tasked financially. So have that at the back of your head, that it is not cheap. It is going to be financially involving. So yes, application fee is part of the things you need before you begin your application journey, because you cannot even hit submit without an application fee or proof that you've paid that amount. So the next thing that you need, and the last thing, to be honest, is a completed application form. Like I said, the application fee is something that you have to pay, and once it's done and you've met all the requirements, you then hit submit. So once you've submitted that application form, you need to complete it, because they'll give you an application form online that you fill. Sometimes people will print it out, fill it, and then mail it back to the school. So it is a document that you need. And so this brings me to the end of the documents needed for your study abroad journey. Now let's talk about the duration. I advise people to start like 3 months. Give yourself 3 months to get all of these things. Now, application fee, you don't need to plan for it. You just need to have the money. Your TOEFL, your GRE, your standardized test, give yourself 3 months. For me, it took me 1 month to prepare for my GRE and I got it. And it also took me 1 month to prepare for my TOEFL, and I got it. If you need me to make a video about that as well, I can. Just comment down below and I will have that video ready. Now for your transcripts, guys, this is where it becomes very funny. We know that we are from Nigeria. I don't know how your country is if you're watching from a different country. We know that we're from Nigeria, so when you're reaching out to your professors, mind you, they have things that they are doing, so they might not necessarily have all the time to attend to you. So if you're waiting for last minute to have your professors give you a no, am I talking about transcript? Okay, so I was talking about statement of what is wrong with me? I was talking about letters of recommendation. So if you're waiting for your guarantor or the person that will give you that recommendation letter last minute to inform them, then you'll just be setting yourself up to fail. So I advise people to give yourself 3 months. That 3 months you're preparing for your standardized test. That's 3 months you have reached out to your professors to say, please, this is my goal, this is my dream, I want to study abroad, and these are the requirements. One of the things that is needed is a letter of recommendation. Please, can you write me a letter of recommendation? And don't just ask anybody. I teach people that I am mentoring one-on-one the easy way to get a letter of recommendation that converts to scholarship. So if you want to learn that as well, please click the link in my description down below to book a consultation, or you can even join my master class so that you can learn that as well. Now for transcripts, you know that you are from Nigeria, and everything in Nigeria is even when you go there to school to collect your transcripts, these people will be expecting you to do the job for them. They will give you forms to go and print. They'll give you forms to go and photocopy. They'll be sending you on errands, whereas you're not supposed to do that. You just came there to collect your transcripts. And then after you've done the day's work with them, their own work, they'll tell you to come back next 2 months. So you have to start early. Start early. Go to your school. If you're not in your state anymore where you schooled, reach out to people that are there. There are organizations that even help people to do these kinds of things, but I'm not going to mention them on here because they're not sponsoring me. So when they start sponsoring me, then maybe I can refer you. But this is something that I give to my mentors, my mentees, and my clients who pay me for such services. So start early, reach out to these people so that you can get those items. And even your worst evaluation, ensure you start early, because it takes time too for them to have that evaluated and sent to the school. So that's the duration that you need to just give yourself this target. And this 3 months I'm talking about should be 3 months before the application is open, because if the application is open in August and you want to start doing those things in August, you will not apply early. You just put yourself under pressure. So this is my advice from personal experience and from, it has worked for the people that I have helped in the past and the people that I'm currently assisting as well. So now let's talk about the cost of your pre-application documents or the pre-application fees. How much does it cost? Before you begin, you want to study abroad, and when you reach out to me and you're like, oh, you want to study abroad, how much is involved? This time, we're not talking about the tuition, we're not talking about your flight ticket because you don't even have an admission. We're talking about these documents that I mentioned. How much would they cost for you to get them done? So don't worry, I already did the research for you. So now for application fee, most American universities, the application fee, let me just say from $50 to $100. It could be less, it could be more. I've seen application fees that are $30, $45. There are some that are even a little bit more. So it could be, but just know that from $50 to $100, that should be the amount you should set for yourself as an application fee. So the next money that will be involved is the money for the TOEFL. Your TOEFL fee would cost you about $200. Yes, it costs about $200 for you to have your TOEFL done. And then the second money that you pay in is your GRE fee, which will cost you about $226. Guys, there could be a little bit, maybe $5 or less in this, but this is an estimate of how much it will cost you to have that exam done. Now let's talk about your transcript. For most Nigerian schools, the transcript should be about $30,000 to $50,000. So that's 50,000 naira. So that should be $122 for your transcript. Okay, and remember, if you're applying to 5 schools, then you have to budget the $50 to $100 for 5 schools. Okay, you don't just say, okay, $100 is the application fee. No, $100 is the application fee to one school. $50 is the application fee to one school. So if you're applying to 5 schools and the application fee for each of those schools is $50, then multiply $50 by 5. So that's your $250 right there. So that will be your application fee. Okay, so the next thing you need is your international passport. Your passport will cost you about 41,000 naira to get your passport. I think it cost me about 30,000 during my time, but then with transport, logistics here and there, and just to have it done faster enough, I spent about 50k. So yeah, but you should, from 41,000 can get you your passport, or even less, or even a little bit more. All right, so for your West evaluation, it will cost you $205 to have your West evaluation done, but that is for one school. Now if you want to have them send that evaluation to maybe 5 schools, then you need to pay additional $7 for them to send it to those schools. So these are the financial implications for the pre-application phase. So let's sum up everything. For transcript, you're going to be paying 50,000 naira. For your application fee, you're going to be paying 165,000 naira. So if you're going to pay that for 5 schools, that's for 5 schools. If it's for one school, that'll be 42,000. So for your TOEFL, you're going to pay 84,000 naira. For your GRE, you're going to pay 93,000 naira. For your international passport, you're going to pay 41,000 naira. And for your West evaluation, you're going to pay 90,000 naira, which brings us to a total of 523,000 naira for your pre-application phase, which is $1,275. So that's how much you need to budget for your pre-application phase. And mind you, this money can be reduced or it can be more depending on the number of schools you're applying to. I advise people to apply to at least 5 schools. So some people apply to like 3 schools. Never make the mistake of applying to 1 school. Don't even try it. Yes, if you don't have the money for application, you can apply to 3 schools, but it shouldn't be less than 3 schools. So guys, this is the end of the pre-application phase, and I hope you learned something. We talked about the duration, we talked about the deadlines when to apply, we listed out all the documents that you need for your application process, and we also talked about the costs, what is involved financially. So the next question will be what next? What next is my next video, where I'll be talking about how to find the right school for you in the United States of America or any country that is tailored to your need, that is tailored to your pocket, that is tailored to your goal as an individual. So ensure that you subscribe to my channel, and if you haven't at this point, what are you waiting for? Like, I don't even understand. If you did not get anything, how can you not get something from this video? So please, hit the subscribe button and turn your post notifications bell on so you're the first to get notified whenever I upload my content. And yeah, we're done. Okay, I'll see you guys in my next video, and until then, I remain Valeen Oseh, and I feel like to never give up, and I hope that you do same. Bye guys.